This is coming from Garrett Birchwood's perspective.
Okay.
Out of everybody in the party, is there anybody that you would trust to be a first mate role?
Sigmund.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And the reason I'm going to say that is because I sent her out at first and she could have walked away and she didn't.
I am a good lady.
She brought back Spud.
I'd like you to know she was talking about having a whip and kinky boots.
Whatever she's gonna do.
I get the job
Oh,
done.
I know,
That's
it's
all.
not I can't trust her, so.
He is
Alright.
a good workplace boss. He doesn't tell the women how to dress.
No, he's
That's
into
right.
it. He's into it.
If you attempt to whip me, I will rip it out of your hand and throw it over the side of the ship.
Oh, that's not
No
nice.
one's gonna whip you, you can't feel it.
That
Would have
doesn't
to whip
matter.
me, I would probably die.
The principle of the matter.
Quit king shaming us, alright?
So I was just telling everybody else while you're out. The ship technically requires 10 people to operate, crew of 10, but I'm going to make it just the 6 that we have, that I've listed on there.
That's all that's required to operate it?
Is technically 10, but I'm going to have it 6. These are the 6 positions that need to be filled.
Okay.
If you include Frank, the new NPC that got added, you guys have 7. I'm also
Okay.
leaving it up to individuals to hire on additional crew. For example, if you guys wanted full operation of the ballistas, you would need to hire, if you wanted to shoot off 1 ballista per turn, you would need 3 crew members per ballista.
So what do you have? You have a loader, a gunner, and...
There's a loader, there's a aimer, and then there's the fire. So it's broken down into 3 actions.
Okay.
So if you wanted to fire it in 1 turn, you would have to have 1 person burn an action.
I'm sorry, the aimer and the fire person aren't the fucking same?
Yeah, I don't know why they
No.
have it like that. But
You gotta think old siege equipment. So there's literally a gear on the side of it to aim. Someone's cranking
Fair.
a gear to aim it.
That's
However, to be fair, Brett, with that being said, if you were shooting at the same target, if it hadn't moved, would you need an aimer?
no, if you were like holding position and that kind of stuff, I would say that you could get away with not doing that. But if it was
Okay.
a constant move in battle, dropping speeds, trying to maneuver, that kind of stuff,
Right,
then
right.
yes, I would have them.
Well, hey, those 2 archers had a fine time shooting across the bridge at us.
They never
Yeah.
made a shot.
They never had a chance because it took them 3 fucking turns to try to get to it.
Oh, they never actually... I thought they fired the ballista at one point. Did I miss
They
that?
attempted to. They took 2 turns to prep it and then fired and the string broke.
Oh, that's right.
Or I don't even think they fired. I think the string broke from the other guy.
Yeah, the boss there, X, cast a spell and it went wide. He got a crit fail on his to hit.
Nice going. Alright. Where...
So, so why don't we have... Everybody should have access to the bishop. Why don't we
So-
have...
Brett, you might have to be my roll 20 for a little bit here.
Alright, let me just start pulling up your stuff then.
Sorry.
Why is it called the bishop? I thought it was the buy ship.
That's the point of the name, is it's a haha, it's a funny pun.
It's not really a pun, it's just a play on words.
Whatever. You know what?
Shut up, Sarah.
Never mind the fact that I spend most of my days berating her slip-ups.
Okay, so we're gonna have...
So, another question for you, Brett.
Yep.
You need all 6 slots filled 24/7, I'm assuming.
Not exactly. You guys can rotate stuff out like this. This is like more of like the combat scenario kind of deal.
Okay, so we can still have a day and a night shift.
Yeah, you could still have a day and a night if you wanted that kind of stuff. Whoa, okay, there we go.
I was just
So-
punching it in for you. Beat me to it.
I think as a group, we need to discuss day and night cycle. Who has
I
dark
can do-
vision?
Oh.
I have dark vision, and I also
Okay.
have sunlight sensitivity, so I should probably be up at
You're
night.
gonna be on night shift.
Especially if you're above the clouds and sailing, that would be real shitty to have. I can't see,
Yeah.
but I'm the pilot.
Where it comes
Dark
out from
says
below
night
decks and
vision.
just it burns.
Sigma, do you have dark vision?
I do.
Okay.
I'm gonna take whatever shift is opposite of yours, so that way it's.
Right. Well, that's all I was trying to figure out. Because if you didn't, then I would have taken night.
I'm a tiefling.
Don't mind me pinging that thing in chat. My auto clicker was on when I changed monitors, so it started clicking on shit.
Brett, you wanna punch me into the?
No, you can.
It won't let me. I have to put in an avatar and all that shit when we go past this.
For what?
The ship information.
Back out.
All right. So my
Oh, I see. You don't.
oh, shoot. So I don't know what role I am gonna be now.
Yeah,
since...
I think I'd work best as engineer.
Don't you
Well,
have
what's your,
decent charisma, hon?
I do, yeah.
How's your perception?
My perception is shit. What's my natural perception? +2 modifier. And my passive perception is 12.
What is your? What did you say it was for engineer? It was perception.
Investigation, perception, arcana. Ritz has kind of been designed for this role, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably work best as that one.
What's
Especially
the
with his-
carpenter? The carpenter has to be smart and strong.
So, to move lumber around and stuff like that, again, this would be more of a combat scenario. If you had to do a repair on the fly, I would have you run down below decks, grab planking, run it up, so that'd be athletics checks. Find the damage would be like perceptions or investigations, and then probably a performance check to repair said damage.
That sounds like it'd be good for you, hun. Don't you have a decent performance? Don't you have like a +3 or 4 on performance?
I have a +3 in performance.
How is your investigation?
My investigation is -1.
Ooh.
You can always call a buddy.
This is for carpenter.
Yeah.
I mean, suppose.
Just to recap, because Jeremy wasn't in chat, the gunner, all the ballistas automatically come with a +6, because I'm not fighting with the rulebook on that. But the gunner will be able to do a couple different things I just was thinking about. They can swap out their dex score and modifier, like a proficiency and modifier, to replace that +6. On top of that, I'll actually even allow them to load and fire as one action. So they'll just need one other person to operate a ballista, like to help them,
Get Frank
to
on
aim
board.
it. So realistically, if you guys did it right, the gunner could operate one ballista by themselves.
Do you have action surge, Striker?
Do I have action surge? I do.
That would be helpful in a pinch if we needed to fire the ballista. 'Cause you
Perfect.
can
Yeah,
use
that's
2
true.
actions.
Alright, I guess I'm... So
And aren't you
gunner-
going arcane archer now too?
Yep. Yeah, okay.
I have a
Now
question
it's
about
like-
some wording.
Yes, depending on where it is. Some of this was cut right from D&D's shit.
The bishop's fire at will ability.
Yes.
It says that you can aid in aiming one of the ship's weapons. Does that mean you don't need someone to aim that specific weapon?
Yeah, you have to be within 10 feet. So it's not. So it's the way that they worded it. It's fluff. They're given the command fire at will to give one gunnery crew advantage on their shot. It's like
so they
them.
still need someone to aim it.
Yes.
Okay.
Not saying, because how is it worded? As an action, the captain, first mate, aids crew, and aiming. Yeah, so it would be the first mate would be given their action to give them advantage. So it'd be like focus fire almost.
Okay. I just didn't know if it meant like literally you're gonna like turn the ship so that it brings the gun into right alignment.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
That's more fluff purposes from what I read.
So the carpenter again, it's mostly strength and dex, except for you need to do perception rolls to find damage.
I would say yes to fine damage. Or if you know that you got
Okay.
hit in a certain area, I'd probably have you do like an investigation, or probably either or. Like if you
Okay.
were sieged at during night, it'd be probably more of a generic perception to find it. During the daytime, investigation to figure out what kind of damage. Let's put it that way. Perception to locate damage. Investigation
In
to do like a accurate assessment of it.
potentially with something like that, if someone was actually assisting me with it, could I get an assist on that and roll an advantage?
Yep, and that's part of this whole
Okay.
like crew system that I'm going to be doing. Instead of the captain and first mate worrying about payments and all that, you guys can do it based off of loyalty. You could recruit people and pay them, but it'd be coming out of your own personal pocket, that kind of stuff. But then if you had a crew member as a carpenter, like your apprentice, they could give you advantage.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll take Carpenter then, because I have the strength and dex. I just don't have good investigation.
My next question, Lovey.
Yes.
Does it take all 6 of us to operate it all at once, or when we split it into shifts, is that going to be a problem?
If you split in shifts, all you really need is like someone to overview the 2 other people operating it. So you need at least a navigator day and night, and then you would need a no, it's a captain or a first mate, either or, it doesn't matter. And then the last one, actually that would be it, because it's all self-sustaining. The only other one that might be like on call would be Ritz, because if there's some sort of issue with the power.
Well, the ship's in kind of shit
I did that
condition
again.
right now. So...
but-
we could get... For the night navigator, we could get Frank on that. That way Dax can get rest in between. Because they're also dexterous and shit.
I mean, if I don't need, if I don't have anything I need to regenerate, I don't need to rest, but I don't have dark vision. Well, I could do both day and night shift, but I just can't see in the dark. It's the problem.
We got torches and shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Also,
So I'm gonna be night navigator,
no, I thought we just said Frank would be night navigator.
and I'll be day navigator.
Whatever you want, I guess.
It's, Garrett's NPC, right?
Yeah, so it's actually Garrett's call.
Yeah.
That was just a suggestion.
Well, neither of you have dark vision, correct?
Who?
Neither of the cats there.
I have
Yeah, I do.
Cats automatically get it.
Yep, they get dark
They
vision.
do? Okay.
Yep.
Alright. So yeah, I'll take the NPC during the day. I'd rather have a PC at night.
Dax, you can hang out with me on the night shift.
Yeah.
Ooh, me too.
Also, we can't forget we have to fix the ballista on the starboard bow.
I think I already did with mending.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, but it was like clean tears, and how Mendon works, it would allow it.
I just wanted an excuse to use my boat term buzzwords. Because I have no other use for my growing up on a marina knowledge that I have.
Alright. Are we all solid and comfortable with this setup?
Sure. So wait, which shifts am I on? I'm on just both. Is that what we established?
I don't think you can go without sleeping.
No,
like, I
he
don't think that's a
can.
thing.
I can. That's the
Oh.
thing. As long as I don't have any abilities I need to recharge, I don't need to rest.
Why are you yelling?
Am I?
You're very excitable.
I'm sorry.
You want to go grab that AC?
I mean, if that's the case, how does the audio look when I do my character voice? Does it spike?
So what I
Yeah.
usually do is I balance it. So sometimes you're high, sometimes you're low, but that's with everybody.
Okay.
If you watch the videos, you'd know.
Dude, I barely watch the YouTube videos that I want to know. I'm like a couple weeks behind on my Formula 1 stuff. I'm not watching a 2-hour D&D video. I'll watch a live stream for 2 hours, but I don't want to sit down and commit 2 hours to watch a YouTube video. It's
No,
weird.
what I usually use it for is like that time I'll listen to like Critical Role or stuff because I got like a 40-minute drive to work, so I'll just throw on something like that.
Maybe I should do that on my drives to Domino's.
I love podcasts. They're perfect for doing mind-numbing work.
Ugh. Alright, so We got our rolls. That's good.
So here's the next question, Garrett. Are you good with these rolls?
Yeah.
All right. The
Excellent.
next one. Next topic, real quick. Frank, I know you probably didn't have a chance to really dive into him yet, but he is definitely a Inquisitor in himself. He's actually taken the Inquisitor path. So he has like an innate ability to tell if someone's lying or not.
Okay.
Cool.
So it's more, I gave you somebody that can, yeah, do the roguish stuff, but at the same time, he can help weed out if there's like new crew members you're taking on or something like that could be part of the Inquisition, spies, something like that.
Okay.
All right. So, any other questions?
No.
So, with your ship currently, it takes about 3 hours to move one of your movement chunks
Oh shit! How did the
on the map.
Oh, yep. So one of the little dashes.
Yep.
Boy.
Those dashes normally take about a day, right?
So suppose we have
Yeah.
Sugmat on the stern, hitting Eldritch Blast after Eldritch Blast. How much faster can we go?
Not at all, because that's not how it works.
Dang.
You would just set the landscape aflame.
Now, she had the ability to, like, hit the front of the ship right above the mast, or not the mast, the figurehead, and she had the Eldritch Splash push it 10 feet faster. Maybe.
Oh, I was looking at sweet figureheads. I've got some recommendations later.
Oh boy. Pimp my ship.
So I will also bring up another folder. Is there? Well, we'll cover that when it comes time, I guess. So where we last left off is you guys had finally finished the prison break at Drogate. You were successfully able to extract 4 people from the prison. Copper Despero, Roger Despero, Thanyor, whatever his last name was, and your new companion on the ship, Frank. You ended the night with doing some tinkering and leveling up. You all wake up the next morning, fully rested, fully healed.
Feeling stronger.
Yep. You realize that you guys are hovering over, or actually, you guys are above the clouds currently. Kind of like the ship is sitting in the clouds, like if it was sailing.
Dope.
Ritz, you're blind as fuck up here.
Nice.
We need to get him some Riddick goggles.
We need to get rid
Get
of
him
some
a
full
hat.
shades.
We need to get him a really big sun hat.
Like a bonnet.
Yes.
As you come up, you can see that Copper is currently piloting the ship, and Roger seems to be working on some sort of navigation setup on the bridge itself. They both look exhausted and tired as hell.
So it's bedtime for them now.
It was bedtime for them before they left the fucking prison.
You're right.
So, with that being said, is there anybody that would like to start off this session?
I'll go up to Copper and ask him what he's up to.
Okay, so you walk over to Copper. And what are you asking him? Just like, hey, how are ya?
Can I clearly see he's working on navigation stuff, or is it?
Yeah, you see him standing at the helm, piloting. You see him kind of like dozing off a little bit.
I'm gonna poke him on the shoulder first.
So you poke him in the shoulder where he actually had taken one of the spear thrusts,
Oh God.
and he just goes, "What the hell?"
I haven't even rolled for killing people yet.
I don't need to be awake that much.
I was actually gonna offer to swap shifts with you since you look pretty fried, but okay. What you doing?
I just didn't hear anybody else talking really, so I just wanted to make sure no one else got kicked out or we did. So,
I think we're all good.
yeah. So you're sitting there, you're telling him you're gonna relieve him. He goes, "Oh, thank God! I'm gonna go down below and take a nap."
All right.
As you start seeing him heading off, Roger is gonna look up and be like, "You need to stay awake. We're almost to our destination."
Well, I can at least take over. Would that be my job or navigators? Should I go get navigator?
It's up to you. As a first mate, you can assume a position if you want. You could also tell them to assume their position.
I'll take it for now. I feel powerful.
Okay.
I'll tell him at least he could take a rest.
So, Roger's going to tell you, all right, maintain the same course that we're currently on. So why don't you give me a performance check?
Heck yes. There we go. Oh, I'm still on it.
No, that's fine. We'll take the first one, 14. All right.
Average.
What is everybody else doing?
I'm gonna go up and just check the engine thing, try to like see exactly what it even is and how it works, so I can mess with it later if need be.
All right. So going over to it, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
All right.
18. All right. Make sure everybody's right here. On an 18, what you can see, there is like a little window that's been put onto this. Peering in, you can see that this there's a little stone, no bigger than probably I don't know, the size of a mouse, like a keyboard mouse. Sitting in there, and it just is radiating this bright red energy. From there, you can see it being funneled into this pipe system that seems to go down and spread out throughout the ship. With your 18 going around inspecting on how this all works, looking at it, you can see that this energy is powering runes of flight as well as levitation and speed, that kind of stuff. It seems to be drawing its energy from this crystal. With that being said, with an 18, you also kind of realize that this housing unit is pretty dense, or not dense, it's made out of a pretty dense material. And if it were to probably be catastrophically damaged, it would erupt with the entire energy from that crystal.
Okay then.
How many more D6s would that be than the dynamite explosion?
A lot. With that also being said, looking around, you see a bunch of like levers, dials, pressure gauges, or energy outputs is what we'll probably call them, and everything seems to be sitting ideal. As you're looking around, you do start seeing one of them starting to rise. It seems to be going to the aspect of what's it called? The flight mechanic of this ship. So why don't you give me another Arcana check to try to balance that?
Okay. Ooh, same exact roll.
You're a pretty smart person. You understand the ways of the arcane nature, and within a matter of seconds, you're able to figure out how all these dials, levers, seem to operate, and you're able to redirect the flow and help balance it out. You can actually see that this bright red energy that's been emanate from it, it's actually kind of died down a little bit. It seems a little more controlled compared to what it was.
This doesn't seem that complicated.
Till you get that nat one.
Touch all the buttons. Knock on the glass.
I think I won't do that because I don't want to kill us all.
This is why I am not the engineer.
Hey, little fishy.
All right. We're all above deck, right?
You guys can also be below deck. I haven't segmented the ship yet, but I can eventually.
All right. We all set with Ritz just to make sure I'm not stomping on toes here.
That's
Yeah.
up to him.
I am done for now.
Excellent. All right. Do I know that Ritz went down below deck exploring, looking
He's
for
actually
stuff?
on the top deck. This power source, the way that it is centrally located
Well,
on the ship.
Yeah, I
On
know
the
that. I'm
top
saying
deck.
last session
Oh,
he went below decks exploring.
I don't think you said that you were kind of in the corner.
Pretty much, yeah.
So why don't we do it like this, Ritz? If you were trying to hide, do a stealth check. We'll do Striker do a perception.
I wasn't necessarily trying to hide.
Okay, so then yeah, you would have probably seen him milling around.
All right, I want to approach him. I want to walk on over to him. Ask him if he found anything interesting in the underbelly of this ship.
Nothing too interesting down there. I just kind of dismantled a few parts of it we didn't need to make some alchemy tools for myself.
Nothing else useful for the party.
I mean, from the guy I looted earlier, I got a lot of money that I'd be willing to share with you guys if the time comes for that.
Fantastic. I like money. All right. Can I? Since I'm the gunner. All right. Thank you, lizard.
You're welcome, robot, I guess.
Can I wander over and inspect the quality of the ballistas? Like check their what the state they're all in.
Yep. Looking them over, checking out their quality. Why don't you, because of your military background, if you would like to do, I'll give you the choice of 3 different checks here. You can do either a investigation, a history, based off of your military background, or a performance to actually physically like operate it, kind of like to like physically try to remember how everything felt to see if you can distinguish any defects in it.
Yeah, I got a -1 for history and investigation, so I'm gonna go with performance. There we go.
So, relying on your natural talent and your extensive experience dealing with sieges and stuff like that on that war front towards the north, looking it over, operating every single one, you don't see any distinguished defects. The only one that may need a little more tender love and care would be that ballista that was damaged in the last skirmish. It is repaired, it is functioning, but it doesn't feel quite right. It's still a little clunky. Nothing that would really affect combat, but it would affect the overall longevity of it.
Understood. I'm all set for now.
All right. Anybody else?
Can, like, in a non-combat situation, I just, like, look the ship over and see if there's any repairs I can do in the moment?
Yes. The ship is pretty messed up.
Nice.
It had taken, because again, we just kind of went through it real quick, but it had taken a few hits. So why don't you give me a perception if you want to figure out the overall damage, or an investigation on a specific area of the ship. So do you want to check like the weapons? Do you want to check the reactor? Do you want to check the hull?
I just want to get, like, an overall feel to see, like, if we need to divert resources to any particular areas.
All right. Give me a perception then.
Oh,
Looks good.
that was fun.
So looking it over, all you really see is a couple sections of the interior when you go below deck that seems to have splintered wood from where ballistas are sticking on the underside of the ship.
Nice.
It hasn't completely penetrated through, but the hull is damaged.
The carpenter is blind.
Question. How
Yes.
dangerous is a hull breach on an airship?
Don't fall through it.
Okay. Good to know.
Ritz, that means you. I don't want to look up fucking how to
Mr.
determine
almost
instant
died
death.
from a 30-foot fall.
20-foot fall.
What is the terminal velocity of an unladen kobold?
All right.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Bef- can I finish
Yep.
something really quick?
Yep.
Can I point out the nearly dead corpse that is Ritz's father?
Pointing out to who would still be underneath? Because right now we've got Striker up top, Sigmad, and Ritz. Yep, as well as Copper and Roger. So is Garrett still below and Dax? That's up to you guys, or have you gone up deck to do so?
Nah, Dax is still in bed.
Yep, Garrett's resting.
Hippolyta, are you perhaps referring to Mr. Cracker?
I'm
I
sorry,
just-
Garrett, I didn't hear you.
Sorry.
Garrett is resting down
Okay.
below.
So yeah, Hennessy, you do have Dax and Garrett down there, as well as Spud in the cargo hold area, who does not seem too happy. Seems very startled, hurt, and scared.
Poor dude. Yeah, so I'm below deck currently?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of come up deck to where there isn't sleeping people and be like, there is a nearly corpse in the hole, and I haven't met him before. Does he need medical care?
I bandaged him up. His name's Thamior. He should maybe be fine. I'm not sure. Just kind of has a
Maybe-
broken skull.
Nice.
He's still breathing.
Maybe when Garrett wakes up, we should have him check on him.
Yeah, that could be good. There wasn't much I could do for him at the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
speaking
now
of
I'm-
that, could I heal him now? Because after I rested, I have my cure wounds back.
Yep, you can go down there and attempt the heal.
All right, I will do that. Should I roll anything other than cure wounds first? Or-
That's up to you.
I'll just look to see how he's doing right now, I guess, if he's gone better or worse.
Okay, so if that's the case, do a medicine.
All right.
Okay, looking him over, he obviously is still missing that chunk of skull. He seems very feverish. His bandages do need to be changed. He's looks again just tattered and beaten from his experience at Drognut.
All right. I will cast Cure Wounds on him then.
All right, you want to link it so that way you can just.
Yep, there we go. And I'll also change his bandages.
Okay. So you see the bruising and some of the minor cuts start closing up. The other wound is still pretty intense though. His fever also, I would say, would break at that point.
All right.
Dax, while laying in the blanket burrito she has unraveled herself in her bed, is going to say maybe when we get to, what is the town name that we're going to? Andowood?
Actually going to the Andowood swamp.
So when we get close to Andowood, maybe we can have an actual healer look at him.
Yeah, that'd probably be best. I'm not exactly the best healer around.
Oh, actually, am I there right now to participate in this conversation?
You would still be kind of working on the ballista since there's so many of them.
All right, perfect. Never mind then.
All right, is there anything else anybody wants to do? Roger's gonna approach Sigmad.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for helping me and my brother escape from that hellhole. We do appreciate it.
I mean, all I did was blow up a few boxes and run around, but thanks.
Still, it is appreciative. Who is your current leader in this group? Is it you? You seem to be taking the mantle of captain.
I just happened to be up first.
Ah. So, who currently leads your group?
That would be Garrett,
Which one is he?
the girly looking boy.
Oh, okay. I will go speak with him then.
Have at it.
So there is like standard crew quarters down below, and then there is like a small officer's cabin. Would you have taken that officer's cabin?
No, I would not have.
All right.
In fact, I probably would have put the injured guy in there.
Okay.
Do you mean you would have put Spud in there?
No, Seymour?
Yeah. Coming down the stairs, Roger looks around, looks for a girly boy, discerns that it is not the kobold, not the centaur, and not the other one there, the tabaxi. So he walks over to Garrett. He goes, "Sorry for disturbing you, but we are about to arrive to the Andowood swamp. And I was told that you are the leader of this band.
I am.
I just wanted to offer my thanks for helping me and my brother escape."
Well, as I appreciate your thanks, no offense, but I didn't do it for you.
So Dax convinced you to come help us.
I do whatever I can to take care of my own.
He kind of like looks at you, kind of nods his head. Well, I do appreciate the assistance here. Once we arrive, we'll be out of your hair. If there's something that we can do for you later on, please let me know, and I will try to assist you the best I can. And
Well,
from what I've been hearing, my brother is somehow the leader of this Black Rose bandit group. And I'll have a conversation with my brother to see if he can introduce you to them, if that's what you desire.
could come in handy. But I think there's some things that have gone on that maybe you're unaware about. Have you heard of the king's death?
We've heard of rumors. Down at the Dragate.
Yes,
Well
you know
as
the sanguine tax.
the Peregrine?
Yes.
Peregrine tax? Yes, I heard of people talk about that as well.
That was never the king's command. In fact, I was tasked with finding out who had issued such a fake order before his untimely demise. We're currently looking into it, and if you catch wind of any information, we could really use it.
Very well, I can definitely let you know if anything is brought up to my attention. How would I be able to contact you? Do you have a place of residence?
You could pretty much look for this ship. I mean, it's going to stick out.
That is true. Well,
That being
enjoy
said,
your-
you could always pass word through your friends, too, and I'm sure Dax would be able to pick it up no matter where we go.
Possibly. Well, if there's nothing else required of me, I shall be leaving. We should be off your ship within the hour.
And I wish you good fortune.
So long, good luck. Leaving, he does kind of stop at Dax's bed while she's in her burrito. And just kicks her out of it real quick and then continues to go.
Sweep his leg.
What was that?
Sweep his leg.
Okay, roll the hit.
What do I roll?
Go ahead and give me a dex. Just a straight dex check.
Yes.
You try to sweep the leg and you actually hit, like, a barrel down there, causing it to, like, fall over and roll over your leg. You hear him laugh as he starts going up the stairs.
A little too tight in the burrito, huh?
I'm just gonna roll back into the burrito on the floor. Or question, has the captain's cabin been taken by the injured man yet?
Yeah. We'll have it backfilled if that's what he wanted.
Alright. Dax might get a hammock for the top deck.
Okay.
Hey, real quick, Justin, I'd like you to know that on Sarah's screen, Roger overlaps, Sugmad's Pog perfectly enough that it does say Sugma.
Oh my god, it does!
Alright. Is there anything anybody else wants to do?
Yes. I will go up to Sugmad.
Oh, yeah.
So, remember that guy you killed back there, shot off the bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, from his corpse, I got some pretty cool stuff. And since you killed him, I think I should let you have whatever you want from it.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, so I got like 1,200 gold. You can have half of it if you want.
Yeah, I could do $600.
Yeah, and I'm gonna cast Mending on like the broken mask and cloak that I took from him,
Okay.
and I'll hand those to her too.
I will take them. I'm gonna look over the mask.
Okay. What are you trying to discern?
Just looking at it, seeing if there's anything fancy or weird about it.
From your passives, you would not find anything that would be weird or anything like that.
Alright. I will tuck that right into my cloak then. I will also thank Ritz and put in a breakfast request. We got
But
anything
yeah,
to eat on the ship?
You know that thing that cats do when they're hungry in the morning, where they start screaming and yowling and running around until someone feeds them?
No, I usually just get headbutted in the head while I'm sleeping.
Well, either way, Dax is hungry and she's about to make it literally everyone else's problem.
Did Ritz find any food on the ship? Supplies or anything?
I don't think he found rations or food or anything like that. I think it was just more gear on the ship. I think they were preparing to send it off, but it was in the middle of refitting.
You specified last game that we had a certain amount of rations on the ship. I don't remember exactly what you said, though.
I think you said about 1 month of rations.
I think you also said something around 1 month.
Let me double check. I'm
I
pretty
agree
sure
with
somebody.
that. That sounds right.
30 bolts, 6 working ballistas. Medicine check.
I do recall you,
Yeah, so let's go with the 1 month. 1 month of food.
my goal is not rations. I want some friggin' oatmeal or a
Tater tots.
Bacon.
nice friggin' omelet. We need to hire a cook. That's what I'm gonna spend my $600 friggin' dollars on, is hiring a goddamn cook.
We just need to get copious amounts of pet chickens and corn.
Barbecue chicken and cornbread.
I can deal with that.
Alright. Roger's going to inform you that You are at your location, and he is going to have you start preparing the ship for landing.
All right. Is this also a performance check, if I recall correctly?
What I'm going to actually have you do is take a assisted survival check
Survival?
for navigating through the clouds.
Swampy cloud fucking air. All right. Hey.
Okay, so everybody on the ship, without warning, you're gonna feel the ship start slowly descending. Not like a dramatic drop as it could have been, but it is descending nice and evenly. The clouds start coming through. You guys are starting to get kind of wet from the clouds themselves. Dew starts forming on the deck. Eventually, you plop through. It is pretty dark out down underneath the clouds right now, like a storm is brewing. Underneath you, you see this large, dense kind of swampland area. There are some breaks and stuff like that where you can see like just straight swamp, but most of it is a thick, jungled almost mess. With that being said, give me a dexterity piloting check to land the ship safely.
Dexterity straight?
Yeah. Okay.
Do I get an assist on this too?
Does anybody assist that's on top?
Sure.
You're in a burrito.
I am on the burrito, yes.
I
Ritz
can
is still
try to
beside
help.
me. Ritz is still beside me.
I am above deck. Can I assist? Oh. Alright. Fair enough.
This will be the last freebie I give the group.
Listen, I don't want to die quite yet, okay?
We're all gonna die.
Further notice, if you guys are looking for assist, it needs to be stated ahead of time and not like
Yeah, no, I forgot I took myself off advantage.
before the roll. So yeah, you start descending. You get down to about treetop level, and then you just consistently keep that same descent pattern, and you can hear cracking and breaking of tree branches until you hit into the actual swamp. I want you to roll me. It wasn't a crit fail, so give me 4d6.
That was 1d20, sorry. Did I shake out any of the ballistas on the bottom? Anyone asks, I'm doing some cleanup.
People that are below deck, it's been a nice gradual descent. You guys haven't really been like tossed out of bed or anything like that. And then all of a sudden from nowhere, you just feel this rough, jagged, like sudden brace impact, where you guys would probably be knocked around, and I would say potentially even thrown out of bed because of how rough it was. You hear snapping of wood. You can hear the creaking of the ship as planks are put under immense stress from slamming into some of this.
You just see Ritz leaning over the side like, you're good. You're good. You're good. Still good.
Yeah, just probably standing on top of a crate and also holding on for my life.
Thank you for the assist.
You've tied
You're
a
welcome.
harness around yourself and tied yourself to the deck.
Yeah, we did great.
Listen, this is my first time piloting an airship. It's not bad.
The ship eventually comes to a complete stop as it grinds onto the ground itself. It doesn't like tip over or anything like that. It is still hovering. It's just like a little bit in the swampy ground. Like think of like thick mud and stuff like that. With that being said, though, Ritz, give me a perception check.
Alright.
Okay. With that perception of 7, all you get for information is you start seeing a bright light emanating from the reactor.
Oh, no.
It's
that
shining
doesn't look
through
so
that
good.
porthole.
You need to put the brakes on, Ritz.
Yeah, I'll go over and check the engine thingy.
Okay. What are you looking for?
See like why it's so bright. Like
Okay,
what's wrong
so
with it?
Dials.
give me an Arcana check then.
Okay. Oh, nice.
All right, looking at it all, you can see that some of the power dials in various spots, such as elevation, flight, thrust, that kind of stuff. You see that thrust is redlined and elevation is dropped down completely. So this thing is overworked and trying to correct itself.
Okay. Can I try to fix that?
Yeah, yes, you can. I'm gonna actually have you do an investigation to determine the actual cause.
Okay.
I would even say that you could use your magic item from start of game on this.
Nice.
I believe that is also a +2, or did it give you advantage?
Advantage, I believe. Yeah, advantage on investigation checks.
Okay, cool. 19. Looking at it, you don't really initially see anything wrong in this area, so you kind of follow the pipework quickly. Then you kind of come across to one of the sections of the ship where one of the ballistas had been pushed cleanly through the ship at this point and has damaged a section of one of the pipes.
Oh, that looks wonderful. Can someone come over here and help me try to fix this?
With that being said, with your 23 previously, you know that this energy that's emanating from it can be quite volatile.
And be careful, it might be dangerous.
Have we officially landed?
Yeah, the ship has stopped.
Alright, so I can go over to him without, crashing into anything else.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll run over and help him.
So the ship has stopped. It has descended and stopped, but from how everything's been described, it's still pushing forward, but it's not moving. It's like just stuck in the ground, building up this pressure.
Oh, cool. What can I do to help, bud?
We gotta fix whatever's going on here with this ballista pushed into the pipe.
Alright, I got an Eldritch Blast and I got a mace.
We might need to... Do we have to push the ballista out of the way?
It would help, yes.
So
Okay.
would that be strength?
Would I have been able to hear Ritz from below deck ask for help?
You would have seen Sigmed and Ritz scramble below deck. On top of the deck, Striker and Hennessy. You would see Roger and Copper calmly deboarding the ship.
I was just below deck. I had put my pog on deck because I thought they were above deck.
Alright.
Okay, so I'd be right there with them already, essentially.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so could I help them as the carpenter?
Yeah, if you were trying to remove the ballista, you could do a athletics check.
Okay. And since we're all helping each other, would that be an advantage?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you guys want me to roll that, or do one of you guys want to roll it?
You are
You do.
significantly stronger than us, so...
Yeah,
So
my
here's
strength is -2.
So here's my question.
Huh?
So to determine the DC for this, I need to know, are you pulling it through the ship, or are you trying to push it out of the ship?
I would have to ask Ritz on what he thinks the best plan of action is.
If we pull it up through, we got an extra ballista bolt.
That ballista is pretty mangled and stuff. It is unfireable.
Well, how far into the ship is it? Judging by the size of regular ballista.
So from what you're seeing, those were forked ballistas. They're meant to fight off siege engines. So they stand about 8 feet tall. It's about 4 feet within the ship.
So it doesn't matter which way we push it, it's still going to be the same length.
Yep.
Push them. Pull them. Alright. How confident are you in pulling then?
I don't know. I don't think it makes a difference. Does it make a difference?
I feel like it would be easier to pull it
Alright,
out.
pause. We are in a death saving throw situation for the ship. So, you need to make a decision now without any more influence. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna pull it, and that's a strength check, right?
Yep. Okay, quickly grab it and start heaving it out. So that is one pass in this challenge scenario. With that being said, though, you are right next to the breach of the pipe. Take, it's going to be 1d10 worth of fire damage. So give me 1 second. You're going to take 2 points of burning damage.
Okay.
This is arcane energy. Ritz, with your expertise on this so far and how well you've been rolling to distinguish on how this works, you can actually kind of see that the wisp of arcane fire energy actually almost acts like like tentacle whips and kind of goes out at her and like wraps around her real quick and then pulls off, and it seems like it's trying to grasp at her.
This thing's feisty.
Does it look like I can mend the hole shut?
No, it is broken in multiple sections. You would have to do, I would say you could do a Tinker's Tools and to try to bypass it or repair it.
Alright, I'll do that then.
Which one, bypass or repair, would be 2 different DCs.
I'll try to repair it. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
Hopefully it works. Oh
and
no.
as the carpenter, can I assist him on that?
Unfortunately, he already rolled.
He rolled while I was in the middle of talking.
Unfortunately, he rolled.
Damn it.
So you try to repair it, and what happens is it actually cracks a little bit more. With that being said, this opening is wider. It will be 2d10 worth of fire damage, and it's also considered a fail.
2d10 to me?
Yep.
Oh no.
So it kind of actually like wraps up around your face, burning it, singeing it. You're used to chemical burns. You're used to explosions and stuff like that because of your tinkering past. This, though, this feels like an energy burn that you've never kind of felt before. It's not like an acid. It's not even like fire. It's something more intense.
God, that hurts.
So let's take a pause real quick. Is there anything else any of the rest of the party's doing? Or is Garrett still asleep and Dax still in bed?
No, I'm pretty sure when Garrett felt the crash of the ship, he's gonna start running around and looking at what the fuck's going on.
Dax absolutely heard the ship falling out of the sky and into the forest slash swamp, and probably hears people whipped around by the fire monster. She's still gonna be in the burrito though.
I thought you were looking
Getting
for
up for this
breakfast.
shit.
I think I heard there's some commotion down below deck, so I'd like to go figure out what the heck's going on there.
Okay. So let's say at this point then, Stryker and Garrett, you would both probably arrived on the scene. You're watching Ritz kind of like fighting off this energy wrapping around his body as he's trying to fix it. He's struggling pretty hard. So you guys have 1 pass, 1 fail. Does somebody else like to try to do something here? The only 2 that can't are Hennessy and Ritz.
All right.
Well, actually, hold on. Correction. They can still do stuff. They're both a carpenter and engineer, so they have multiple checks on this that they can do.
So
Can I really pull Ritz back? Would that help him at all? I mean, he's already taken the damage. But
He's
if
already
it's
taken the damage. It's
not going to be persistent even though it's wrapped around him?
yeah. It kind of like wraps around and then retracts back in and then
Okay.
starts coming back out again.
I didn't know if he was grappled or not.
Okay, so are there any sort of like materials that we have just below decks to help do ship repairs?
Yeah, you can actually see sections of pipes and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's like in a storage area up to the front.
Okay. Ritz, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How potentially dangerous would it be if I would attempt to close this valve off quick enough for us to actually put a replacement pipe in?
Do I know how dangerous that would be?
It would cut, so from your Arcana checks, it would cut off the power supply to this section of the ship. which would be beneficial because you guys won't be fighting in the fire. Downside is every turn, even if you get a success, it's considered a failure due to the fact that it is building up tremendous pressure because it has no way to disperse. With that also being said, though, you could actually shut down that reactor based off of what you know for information. You just don't know how to restart it. So you could safely shut it down, fix this without any more issues.
It might help to just completely shut this thing down, but the problem is I don't know how to start it back up.
Do any of us know how to start it back up?
Well, we're not going anywhere. in a
I
hurry,
don't
right?
suppose that's an immediate concern. I'm more concerned with getting the fire monster dealt with.
Alright, pause. Again, we're still in a time trial, so this needs to either be a check or an automatic fail for something.
I'm gonna go run and shut the whole thing off.
That's going to take time. Unfortunately, this is like a almost combat kind of scenario, so it's going to have to happen within like the next 6 seconds.
Am I close enough to Misty Step if I go straight up to the...
30 feet?
Yes.
Don't you need to have line of sight?
That's a good question.
I can't remember. It's either Dimension Door or Misty Step that you need to have line of sight.
I'm gonna link it just so I can read it. Unoccupied. You can see. Fuck.
Yeah.
If someone wants to try to do another repair check, I can start darting my way up there.
If I try to repair it again, I might die, but worth a shot.
I'll try.
What do you have to roll for a repair? Oh, you're the only one that can.
Can anyone assist me on that?
Yeah, as a carpenter I can, actually. So you can roll at an advantage.
Okay. Yeah, I'll roll Tinker's Tools with advantage.
Before you roll that,
I'd like to give Bardic Inspiration.
that's what I was going to ask. So, you have Bardic Inspiration as well as advantage.
Okay.
Bardic Inspiration is a d6.
Oh. Nice.
Alright, so that's 2 successes. So you're able to quickly patch this damaged area to the point where the energy stops wisping out. You're able to do it in such a manner with Hennessy's help that neither of you take any damage from repairing this breach. Next turn, Sigma would have gotten up there and shut off the power core because you would have been mid-process going up.
Yep. We should probably use this power being off as a chance to fix and check the entire ship once we're done with our, Andowood mission.
My ballista.
It was one of the bolts that they shot at us. It wasn't our ballistas, right?
Yeah. It's so the fortress defense ones are like 8 feet long. Yours are about more like 6 feet, a little bit thinner, lighter material. These are like to stop siege towers and battered rams and stuff like that. This is more almost small compared to how to put it.
Alright. So Striker, all your toys are still intact. Unless they got a little shook with my driving.
Excellent.
Also, if anyone asks, I wasn't driving.
Alright, are we at a point where we're not doing saving throws for the ship still, or are we still trying to get the saving throws done?
No, you got the double successes plus you turned off the reactor, so there is no more immediate threat.
Excellent.
Okay. Can I, at this point, ask everybody to just help me try and figure out what is wrong with the ship so I can get an assisted perception so we can try and actually fix shit?
Yeah, I'll assist with that.
Are you going to try to replace that pipe?
I'm going to try and fix whatever I can because clearly it's on its last legs.
Now, do we want to, because it's off, I don't think we're in any immediate danger. Do you want to do that before or after we deal with the hill giants?
I think in case things go wrong and we need to skedaddle, we should get this thing figured out first, personally.
Yeah.
Garrett, any thoughts or opinions as captain?
I just think we need to work on repairs.
Sounds good. Okay.
So am I doing yeah, I'm gonna be doing a perception since it's just a general trying to get an idea of how the ship's doing,
Yep.
right? And I
Yep.
can do that at advantage since people are helping me.
Since Rit specifically to help determine the help determine the damage from impacts and combat for the engine system. Yes.
Hopefully. Oh shit. This is why
Looking
I didn't want to
around.
do anything.
You can see a couple more puncture holes. None that are as bad as this. Nothing has come clean through like that.
Okay.
So the biggest present item right now is, the ship looks damaged from the inside. You don't know how bad with a 9, except the obvious one that I just had you guys deal with.
Can I employ Stryker to join me to check the outside ship damage?
Yes.
Hey, Stryker, you want to go for a walk?
Sure.
All right. If anyone has time, someone should probably check the sails and all that.
Can I?
We got the big blimp balloon, right?
Out of game note, can I just?
It's more actually like this.
I'd like to just to say that I've realized that I modeled my striker voice after my hard of hearing great uncle. Because he speaks in about a similar way. He's just very loud because he, doesn't hear as well as he used to be able to.
I enjoy it. All right. Since we're looking for damage on the outside of the ship and just doing a general check, would that also just be perception, or would it be investigation? Because we're specifically looking for damage.
Investigation, since you're looking for specific hull damage.
And before I roll Stryker, you are giving me the assist?
Yeah. What's your investigation modifier?
That's probably a good thing to look at.
Mine's -1, but I wanted to check what yours was.
I got a +3, so.
Perfect. All right.
Hey,
there we go.
Excellent. So.
How's she looking?
She is looking rough. Pretty rough. A lot of the planking seems to be damaged from low impact ballista hits. So you do have a couple that are stuck right through. The sails are intact but weathered and torn. Not torn, but frayed.
Frayed, yeah.
You can even distinguish with a 23 that some of the runes that have been designed to help keep the ship afloat are damaged but not non-functioning.
Can I roll an Arcana check to see what they are and if I can repaint them, redraw them?
Yep.
Alright.
They're more carved into the ship.
Oh, well, I'm not. I know Eldritch Blast, and that's
You
it.
know Eldritch Blast, so that's about it, yes.
Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna take notes on what's damaged, what needs to be fixed.
So
and I'm gonna leave the fucking runes alone.
Wait, what's your Arcana modifier?
1.
Oh, same. Okay.
With that being said, with a 23, you do know that at a 300 HP for the ship, you currently have 139.
So we're less than half strength.
Half,
basically.
yep. Technically, when you guys get to half, there's supposed to be a potential catastrophic failure. So that's what happened.
That's all right. We kind of stole it. It was free. We didn't have to pay for it, so I don't have any hard feelings about that.
Looking around, taking stock of repairs and stuff like that, you've got enough to repair about 50 HP. Unfortunately, 1 HP per day for repairs.
Yeah, I forgot about that. When we were descending, was I able to see how close Andowood was to where we are now? Were we high enough that I could tell which direction the town was?
It would be from where you guys came in towards the east.
Alright. Does it look like a hike?
It looks like a hike. It probably about a day and a half worth of hiking through this.
Alright, so...
Because it is, difficult terrain, so it's not like you can just do, a normal day's hike through it.
Yeah, no, because it's all swamp and shit. And around us, there's, no clear paths. Just in the middle of a friggin' skanky swamp.
Yeah, you kind of, as you guys are out there, you're, varying, depending on where you step and your feet sink in, about, up to your ankle, and, Stryker would have hit a gap, probably, and sunk with his weight up to his knee, and had to pull himself out, and...
Sorry, what makes this swamp skanky?
Listen, I've lost a lot of shoes in swamps, okay?
Okay, I have a question.
That doesn't answer
Yes.
my okay.
To have the ship like professionally repaired, would it be able to regain its health quicker, or is there really no options to get it up and running in a reasonable time?
So not in a reasonable time. Like if the full crew with the materials that you had on there, you could repair it at 1 HP per day. Up to 50 because of the materials on the ship. If you brought it to a dock station, it would be to get it professionally repaired with their materials, 20 gold pieces per day for 1 HP.
Oh my lord. So basically,
that-
we just don't have a ship anymore.
No, you do. It's still functioning. It can still fly because you're able to fix the repair. It's just damaged.
And now we have
So,
no way of restarting the engine.
Dude, that
As
is
far as we know.
those prices.
That's
Are...
why-
Sorry,
Go for it.
No, that's according to the book too, because I just looked it up.
dude, those prices are like dirt road robbery. I'd say highway robbery, but I'm pretty sure those don't exist. That is ridiculous.
I mean, we're not on a road, so it'd be skyway robbery.
Jeez, 20 gold for an HP. God.
You also got to remember, this is almost like a galleon class ship.
That's true. It is big.
It is pretty big. It has high HP. It doesn't have a damage threshold like versus like the galleon. But this is like stuff you guys can purchase and have them retrofit. You can get cannons, catapults,
And
figureheads, rams. You guys, this is like a mobile base. So with that being said, a base to go buy like a mansion or something like a castle to fortify or whatever would cost a lot of money. So that's how they're justifying a mobile platform.
I'm going to ask Stryker, because he's sinking, to go back up and pass the message on to Garrett about what the ship needs and how it's looking on the outside. And then I'm going to stay near the boat, but can I do a perception check for checking around the swamp area that we landed in?
Yep.
Because sketchy. Perception. I think I still... Yeah, well... It's gross, it's cold, it's wet, and it's muddy.
Yep, and it smells.
Skanky.
Yep.
That's the sound of my leg coming out of the mud.
Alright. I won't be far behind you, Stryker. I just wanted to survey poorly.
Excellent. I'd like to note that as I walk onto the ship, it's kind of like because there's mud on the bottom of my boot. All right. Perfect. So are we sending are we all going out as a party to go venture out, or are we just...
No, Sigma went out on her own, just not even away from the ship. She's just looking around to see what she can see.
Okay.
You'd see, speaking of which, you see some plant life. You also notice that, the trees are dying in certain spots but thriving in others. A lot of underground brush. You can kind of hear woodland or swampland creatures kind of moving around, that kind of stuff. I would even say you could probably see a snake slithering by.
Oh, sweet. Alright. So yeah, just go let Garrett know what the ship needs to be repaired. And make sure Ritz hasn't blown himself up.
So, Stryker finds the rest of the party, informs them. What's the consensus and plan?
Yeah, we definitely gonna do something about this. Should be decently fine for now.
Is there like stuff around I can cast mending on to fix?
Not really, unfortunately. It's a
Okay.
lot of splintering and broken and not 1 foot clean tears.
Yeah, mending's kind of fussy. It sounds cool until you actually read it.
Yeah. Also, how's Thamior doing right now?
Yeah, that shook him a bit. His brain probably
Would you like to
fell
go
out.
check on him?
Yes, I will.
Alright, you go in. He is on the floor, face down.
I roll him over, so he's not
Dead.
face down.
You roll him over. He's still in rough condition, but he is still breathing.
Can I see if there's anything I can do to help him?
Sure. Well, you've already done that. You've already done everything you can.
True.
Unless you want to cast more healing spells.
He'll be fine. So, can someone help me pick him back up?
I will assist you.
I think
Alright.
maybe
Right
we
there.
should take a day, stay with the ship, fix it up a little bit, and make sure no one's going to mess with the ship before we move on to anything else.
Hmm.
True, that'd probably be best.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop back on the ship too.
Dax at this point has stood up, still wrapped in the blanket, but has gone onto the top deck to see what all the fuss is about.
So yeah, going to the top of the deck, you can kind of see that you're now in a swamp. Not what you thought you were gonna be. Everybody seems like very concerned about the condition of the ship. You're kind of like still waking up like that cat squint sunlight in your face.
Angry blink face.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna start eating some of my rations.
Do we have like water on this ship too?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna. Does Spud like granola bars?
Sure.
Alright, because I'm pretty sure he's probably freaked out, so I'm gonna feed him a granola bar.
Yeah, Spud's still traumatized, I think.
So shits and giggles, give me a animal handling.
Oh, cool.
Oh god, he's gonna bite off your hand.
No, Spud and I, we're buddies. Check this out.
Okay. Yeah, you are able to calm him down, feed him, give him some water.
God,
Right, so he's injured, right?
Hmm?
Did Spud get injured?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
want me to roll a medicine check just to figure it out?
Sure.
So I got. If I'm nice to him, he'll become my horse.
God, I was so hoping for the watch this and then a critical fail. I wasn't hoping for it, but I was expecting it.
That would be my luck.
With that being said, you looking him over. He's healing up okay. A lot of it was surface, kind of like cuts, burn, that kind of stuff.
I'm here for you, buddy. Remember that. I'll be cashing in that favor eventually. Oh, Spud's secured.
All right, so you guys are gonna take the evening to look over the ship, check surroundings, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Do you want us to do one flat roll for the whole day, or do you want us to
Yeah.
individually do tasks?
Who's doing what? Let's put it that way. Let's start off with the captain. Garrett, what are you doing?
I'm gonna tend to Thamor and heal him up, use some spells here.
Oh, okay. What spells are you using?
Toll the dead.
Cure wounds.
All right. How many of them are you using?
I'm trying to look at my sheet real quick. I did get arrested, correct?
Yeah.
So I will use 3 cure wounds on it.
Okay. You don't need a roll. You can kind of see a skull cap reform, and not per se the skull, but the flesh starts mending around to help seal it. It is a scar at this point. It is not fully healed. A lot of the abrasions and stuff like that, cuts, bruises, have dissipated at this point as well.
Okay.
Let's see here. First mate.
Since I feel like I'll do the least damage to the sails, I'm gonna see if I can start mending those up.
Okay, so you're repairing the ship. Ritz.
I'm gonna take a look at the runes and stuff that you said needed to be repaired.
Okay. Why don't you do just an Arcana check?
Okay.
Alright, with your time with Thanyor, you have overseen some, arcane scripture on, like, fly spells and stuff like that, so you can work on those. Striker, what are you working on?
Let's see. I'm gonna try and patch some holes in the ship, or is that Hippolyta?
Nope, you can. It's just depending on how many of you repair in the ship will determine if you can get, like, 1 to 2 HP is probably how I'll do it.
I'm gonna work on repairing the ship then. I didn't have anything else in mind.
Okay, Hennessy?
I'm also going to be working on physical repairs.
Alright, and then that leaves Dax.
She's gonna help Slugmad with the repairing of the sails.
Okay. So, within the rest of the day, between tending and repairing the ship, I would say that the ship, with everybody working on it, for the most part, we'll say you guys gain 2 HP.
Wow.
Ooh.
Hey, that's puts you above. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't.
Yes.
I was gonna say that puts you above that crit fail rate, but it does not. All right. Moving on. What do you? Night comes. There doesn't seem to be that much activity around you guys. It's starting to rain at this point. It's cold, wet.
Well, we can immediately start our shifts with, if we're not going anywhere, we'll do the night watch for half the night.
Birchwood, yes.
Yeah. I would also like to spend my last healing on Spud.
All right. So he can. I've already adjusted his health back up to full because I figured you were going to be doing that the next day.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you burn that spell slot. Rain comes. It's cold, wet. It's actually almost like a torrential downpour. It's very hard to see from end to end of ship. Night watch.
That would be me, Ritz, and Dax.
If you guys would like to do a perception check individually or as a group, your choice.
I'm gonna recommend. It's gonna be a disadvantage with the rain in it.
Yep.
I'd recommend individually because it's a lot of area to cover.
All right.
Disadvantage to X because of the weather conditions.
Perception?
13, 14, 14. Okay, cool. So throughout your night shift, you don't really see anything that sticks out. We do see some stuff slithering, like in the water as you're like checking over the back of the ship, looking down.
Normal creepy crawlies.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. About midway through the night, it does break down to a light drizzle, and then right before dawn, it does cease to rain.
Alright. I'm gonna go down and wake up Garrett and let him know that rain broke, nothing happened overnight, and I'm tired.
Well, head to bed. I'll wake the rest of the crew.
Alright. Thank you.
So I'm going to go ahead and do a shift change.
Completely spaced on the fact that I was also wasn't I technically awake for that? I completely spaced on the fact that I would also be part of that perception.
You weren't awake, hon. You don't have night vision.
I was. Well, I'm always awake, but I guess I just wasn't there.
Yeah, we'll say you're watching over Thanyor.
Perfect. It's looming ominously over him, staring. His prone body.
Dax is gonna do some finger guns and be like, I'll watch over Thanyor, and then go into the nice captain's cabin and climb into bed with the half corpse.
Okay then.
You tabaxi are a strange breed.
Day shift, you come on, the rain has broken. Looking around, why don't we have you guys either do a perception check at a standard roll, or one person at advantage?
I'd say do it at advantage because I have a -1.
Same, yeah. Who's got a
Who
good
else is
perception?
day? Isn't Garrett day?
I'm pretty good. You want me to take it?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, indeed. Looking around, compared to the morning or the evening when you guys crashed, compared to now, stuff seems to be more lush and green. The swamp seems to actually be more dried up than it was before. More earth and grass is there compared to swampland. Looking around, more bushes that have sprouted flowers and stuff like that. The trees that were once like dead have actually come back to life somehow. Looking around on the ship, you see fungal growth, mushrooms, roots, that kind of stuff growing on the exterior of the ship. With your perception leaning over, checking it, it seems that sections of the ship have been repaired with woven vines and natural foliage and underbrush, as well as large clusters of like mushrooms growing on it to try to help plug up holes. Why don't you give me a D100?
What have we stumbled into?
It's good, I guess.
Oh,
So, overnight, the ship seemed to have repaired itself a little bit.
Cool.
What was that?
I just said cool.
Oh, I thought I heard somebody else talking.
that's just me in the background being loud.
Gotcha.
Does anyone know what this might have been?
Unfortunately, the people who would have seen it did not roll high enough.
Well, we're just gonna chalk it up to a friendly neighborhood druid. He did it with magical rain.
Alright, so is 8
We're gonna
hours
pretend it
elapsed?
is.
Was that the whole rest, so we'd be up again?
No. Is there anything else the day crew would be doing right now?
How long we plan to stay here until we try to figure out what the heck's going on?
Oh,
Yeah, I
another
think
thing
maybe
I should have mentioned. 3 of your ballistas also seem to have had fungal growth as well as vines wrap around it to the point where they don't seem like they'd be working.
My
Oh.
ballistas!
I think we need to get out of here.
Alright.
How'd you propose we do so?
Well, I don't know why we landed in the first place. I think next time people need to get off, we just throw ropes.
Also, we don't know how to start it back up.
Say what?
We don't know how to turn it back on.
I thought we didn't turn it off.
No,
They
they
did.
did.
Would I know anything about that with my air vessel proficiency?
You can give me. Go ahead and roll that check to see. Or an Arcana, your choice. We'll put it that way. Whatever one might be higher. With the 13, it should be a simple enough process to re-agitate the crystal to start emitting a power or energy, I should say. That process, you probably, even though you're proficient on how to fly them and operate them, 13 is not high enough to know exactly how to do it. Actually, you know what? It's almost 8:30. Why don't we take that 15-minute break and then have people kind of figure out what they want to do and how to approach this?
All right.
Okie
Sounds
dokie.
good.
I will be back.